Most players spend their childhood dreaming about one moment, stepping onto the biggest stage in football while the entire world watches. But for Lamine Yamal, that dream happened before most kids his age even finished school. While teenagers his age were sitting in classrooms wondering what they wanted to do with their lives, he was standing under stadium lights with millions watching his every move. But here's the truth nobody talks about. The world didn't believe in him at first. They didn't call him special. They didn't call him the future. They called him too young, too weak, too inexperienced. They said the pressure would destroy him. They said the stage was too big. They said he wasn't ready. But what happened next shocked the entire football world. Because football has seen talented teenagers before. We've seen wonderkids. We've seen hype. We've seen young stars rise fast and disappear even faster. For every legend, there are hundreds of names people forgot. Players who were called the next big thing then vanished. So when Lamine Yamal's name first started appearing, people reacted the same way they always do. Curiosity at first, then doubt, then criticism. Because football fans don't trust hype anymore. They've seen too many fake prodigies, too many overhyped talents, too many careers destroyed before they ever truly started. And maybe that's what made his story different. Because from the very beginning, Lamine Yamal never looked nervous, never looked overwhelmed, never looked like the pressure affected him. He played with a calmness that didn't make sense. The kind of calmness you only see in veterans. The kind of confidence you expect from someone with 10 years of experience, not someone barely old enough to drive. Every time he touched the ball, defenders hesitated. Every time he moved, crowds leaned forward. Every time he attacked, something dangerous felt possible. But before the fame, before the spotlight, before the stadiums screamed his name, there was just a kid with a dream and a ball at his feet. He wasn't born into luxury. He wasn't handed greatness. He wasn't raised like some celebrity child built for cameras. He was just a normal kid obsessed with football. The kind of obsession that can't be taught. The kind where every free second becomes practice. Every empty street becomes a pitch. Every wall becomes a teammate. Every mistake becomes motivation. And from a young age, one thing became obvious. He was different, not because he scored flashy goals, not because he showed off, but because he saw football differently. While other kids chased the ball, he understood space. While other players panicked under pressure, he stayed calm. While everyone else rushed, he slowed the game down. And that's rare. That's what scouts notice. That's what separates talent from genius. So when he entered Barcelona's academy, expectations were already building. Coaches quickly realized this wasn't a normal prospect. This wasn't just another talented winger. This was someone who understood football at a level far beyond his age. He wasn't just beating defenders. He was reading them, predicting them, controlling them. And when a player starts doing that at a young age, people begin whispering, then talking, then expecting. And expectations can destroy careers. Because talent is easy to admire when nobody expects anything. But once people start calling you special, once people start saying your name with legends, once pressure arrives, everything changes. Now, every performance matters. Every mistake gets noticed. Every bad game becomes a headline. And that's where most young players break. Because talent alone doesn't survive pressure. Mentality does. And this is where Lamine Yamal shocked everyone. Because when pressure came, he didn't break. He got better. The higher the expectations rose, the calmer he became. The brighter the spotlight got, the more confident he looked. And suddenly people weren't just calling him talented anymore. They were asking bigger questions. Could he really become world-class? Could he really handle this level? Could someone this young actually dominate professionals? Then came the moment everything changed. The call-up, the promotion, the opportunity every young player dreams of. First-team football. The moment where dreams either become reality or collapse forever. Because academy football is one thing. Professional football is war. The speed is faster. The defenders are stronger. The pressure is heavier, and mistakes are punished instantly. This is where hype dies. But when Lamine Yamal stepped onto that pitch, something unbelievable happened. He looked like he belonged. Not just comfortable, not just decent. He looked like he belonged there. Like the moment wasn't too big. Like the pressure meant nothing. Like he had been waiting for this his whole life. And in that moment, the doubters went quiet. Because now it wasn't hype anymore. Now it was real. Every touch he made looked dangerous. Every dribble made defenders panic. Every movement felt intelligent. Every decision felt mature. And suddenly, the same people who said he was too young started changing their words, but not everyone. Because even after proving himself, even after performing, even after showing his quality, there were still critics, still doubters, still people saying, he's just a kid. He'll fall off soon. He can't stay this good. The pressure will destroy him eventually. Because people don't like believing greatness can happen that early, it scares them. Because if someone this young is already this good, then what happens when he fully develops? What happens when his body gets stronger? When his mind matures? When his experience grows? That thought terrified people. And maybe that's why they kept doubting, because deep down, they knew what they were watching. Not just talent, not just hype, not just another youngster. They were watching the beginning of something special. But greatness is never easy. Because once the world sees your talent, it tests you. Harder defenders, bigger games, higher expectations, more pressure. And that's when the real story begins. Because becoming famous fast sounds amazing, until the whole world expects perfection from a teenager. One bad performance? You're overrated. One mistake? You're overhyped. One poor game? You're a fraud. That's the reality of modern football. And Lamine Yamal had to learn that fast, because now every game wasn't just football anymore. It was a test of mentality, a test of composure, a test of whether he was truly built for greatness or just another temporary star. And what he did next made the entire football world realize he wasn't normal. He wasn't just talented. He was built for this, built for this. That's what people slowly started realizing, because every time the pressure increased, every time expectations got heavier, every time the spotlight got brighter, Lamine Yamal somehow looked even better. And that's rare. Most young players shine in easy moments, friendly matches, small games, low-pressure situations where mistakes don't matter much. But true stars? They rise when the lights get brightest. They perform when the pressure feels unbearable. They deliver when everyone is watching, and Lamine Yamal started doing exactly that. Big games came, massive stadiums, elite defenders, world-class opposition. And still, he kept playing fearlessly. No hesitation, no panic, no signs of nervousness, just pure confidence. The kind of confidence that frustrates defenders because they expect fear from young players. They expect hesitation. They expect nervous touches. But when they faced him, they got the opposite. A teenager running directly at them, attacking without fear, playing like he had nothing to lose. And that confidence became dangerous, because confidence creates freedom. Freedom creates creativity, and creativity destroys defenders. Suddenly, clips of him started spreading everywhere. Social media exploded. Fans from every country started posting his highlights. Football pages called him the future. Analysts started comparing his composure to legends. Former players began praising him publicly. And when that happens, when football legends start talking about you, you know something is different. But fame brings pressure, and pressure brings hate. Because for every fan who supports you, there will always be someone waiting for you to fail. And the bigger you get, the louder the hate becomes. People began saying the praise was too much. They said he was overhyped. They said football fans were exaggerating. They said we've seen this before. Another young player with hype. Another future superstar who will disappear. And suddenly, the narrative changed again. Now he wasn't just being doubted for his age. He was being doubted because of the hype. People wanted him to fail, because when expectations get too high, some people stop waiting for greatness. and start waiting for collapse. They watched every game looking for mistakes. Every bad touch became criticism. Every average performance became proof he was overrated. Every missed chance became an excuse for doubters to attack. Imagine that pressure. Imagine being that young and knowing millions are waiting for you to fail. That pressure destroys most players. It makes them scared. It makes them play safe. It makes them stop taking risks because once fear enters your mind, your game changes forever. But Lamine Yamal never changed. He kept attacking, kept dribbling, kept taking risks, kept believing, and that's what separated him from everyone else. Because mentally, he never let the noise control him. He understood something many professionals never learn. The louder people talk about you, the less you should listen. So instead of arguing, instead of reacting, instead of letting pressure consume him, he answered the only way great players do, with performances. He kept delivering, again, and again, and again. Goals started coming. Assists followed. Game-changing moments increased, and now even critics had no choice but to respect him, because doubting someone is easy until they keep proving you wrong. Then came the biggest turning point, the moment when football stopped seeing him as just talented and started seeing him as dangerous. Because once a player stops being potential and starts becoming a real weapon, everything changes. Opposition teams adjusted tactics just for him. Defenders doubled up on him. Managers started planning around stopping him. Think about that. A teenager already forcing professional teams to change strategy. That doesn't happen unless you're special, and still, he kept performing, even when marked tightly, even when pressured heavily, even when targeted physically. He adapted, improved, evolved, and every month he got better. That's what scared everyone most. Because normally young players plateau, they shine early, then struggle. But he wasn't slowing down. He was improving, rapidly. And suddenly the question wasn't, can he become great? The question became, how great can he become? Could he become world class? Could he become elite? Could he become one of the best players on earth? Could he become the face of football's next generation? Those questions don't get asked unless people believe something extraordinary is happening. And with every match, that belief grew stronger. But here's the most shocking part of all. He's still only beginning. Still learning, still developing. Still far from his prime. Which means the version people are seeing now isn't even the final version. Let that sink in. The player already shocking the football world. Already humiliating defenders. Already changing games. Hasn't even reached his peak. That's terrifying, and maybe that's why people keep watching. Because everyone knows they may be witnessing history in real time. The early chapters of a legendary career. The beginning of something football may talk about for decades, because when true greatness appears, you feel it early. And football fans everywhere are feeling it now. Because Lamine Yamal isn't just another talented youngster. He isn't just another hype story. He isn't just another name people will forget. He's becoming something bigger. A symbol of fearlessness. A symbol of confidence. A symbol of what happens when talent meets mentality. Because talent can get you noticed, but mentality makes you unforgettable. And Lamine Yamal has both. That's why when people said he was too young, he didn't argue, he proved them wrong. When they said he wasn't ready, he stayed calm. And when they doubted him, he shocked the entire football world. Because in the end, age means nothing when your talent speaks louder than fear. And Lamine Yamal, he's not waiting for the future anymore. He's taking over the present. Right in front of the world. And if this is only the beginning, then football may not be ready for what comes next.